Understand why guys would have a problem with a woman with a high body count, though? Do you understand the logic behind it?
I think it's insecurity. That's where it comes from. Like, do they really want to have a woman that is just a virgin? Because she's not gonna be good, and she's gonna have no experience.
They don't need you to be good, though.
That's so boring. Isn't that
It's
boring?
not boring.
That just sounds transactional to me.
So guys that are alpha guys that want to be, head of household and consider themselves leaders and want to provide for their women, they don't find it unattractive that a woman would have inexperience. Because they feel like what's going to make that experience in the bedroom so powerful is not that she can bounce off the walls or knows all these tricks or knows all these sexual things and, oh, look, she's doing something like out of a porno. That's not what's appealing to them. What's appealing is that she's really excited to be there for him. She's present. She's committed. And he doesn't need her to be an acrobat. He just needs her to be loyal.
I think it's childish to even bring up body count. Like, I just think that it's not important. As long as you were being safe in the past.
Right. You don't think it's important. So you would tell your daughter that her body count don't matter? Damn. So now it's important. Like, you see how it works? I don't want to talk about me, but no, my daughter,
I think that my daughter should know that her body is a temple and that she should only give her body to someone that respects, loves her, and gives her the care that she needs.
Yo, that's crazy, man. So a body count doesn't matter until it's your daughter, right? Yeah. Body count matters, bro, whether you like it or not. That's just it. Point blank. A high body count for a woman, that's a red flag, and a lot of guys don't want to deal with that. So a lot of guys don't want a woman with a high body count and all of that. So cut the bullshit.
It is proven that with the number of sexual partners that a woman has before marriage, it exponentially increases the likelihood of divorce.
No, you're right.
Even with just one partner and two, like low body counts.
Yeah, the more premarital sexual partners you have, the greater likelihood of reporting relationship dissatisfaction, the higher likelihood of infidelity, higher likelihood of divorce. But the way the dating landscape is that men are not really incentivized to commit because women will have sex with a dude on the first, second, third date. So women dictate whether there is a hookup culture or not.
Yeah.
And I don't think men or women are particularly satisfied with status quo. So if we want to see us straying away from a hookup culture, women are going to have to lead the charge on that.
Yeah, I agree with Brian there, because women control who gets laid or who gets to have sex with them. But as a dude, you only get what you get, right? You only get the chick that allows you to hook up with them. So the hookup culture is being controlled by women. So as we can see how it goes now, women control that. So yeah, they're gonna have to change their ways for this to end or to change. They're gonna have to switch the game up and eradicate this hookup culture, because it's not doing us any good. It's destroying our community. It's destroying everything. All right, marital rate is low. It's bad. It's really bad. Divorce rates are high. Man, it's not looking good, man. So the hookup culture, it's a no-no.
Let's talk about body count. So there's two ways that you can say doesn't matter. One way you could say doesn't matter is, do people care about it? Right? So on the mating market, do people care about it? And we'll start with that, and then we'll go into the kind of deeper question that you want, because this is the simpler question: do people care? We see that most people, when you ask them, they want an average-ish body count in their partner, right?
What is
average-ish? Is kind of Goldilocks zone, a few to several, right? So it's and I think it's gonna be a little. I think it's gonna be a little higher in Miami. I don't know, but anecdotally. But you know, allegedly. But most people, when you ask them, if you go up to women and you're like, okay, what would be the ideal body count in a guy? They won't say a virgin, right? And they won't say 100, right? They're going to say like a middling amount. I can't remember the exact number, but I believe it was around 6, right? And then you ask men, and they say around, I believe it was around 4. I'm not sure, but it was an average-ish count. And it wasn't a huge, but the other thing is like, that's the ideal, right? But if you ask someone what is your ideal husband's salary, right? What's your ideal husband's salary? They might say $2 million because you asked them for the ideal, right? Yeah. But in terms of who they'll date, they might date someone who's making $20K a year, right? Like it could be totally,
my boy, a little more than that.
It could be totally chill in practice. So what the ideal is, it seems to be kind of an average-ish amount. But in terms of how important it is, there's varying results, but it doesn't seem to be that important to most people. My friend Alexander, who's a graduate researcher, he did a survey of several hundred people, and it wasn't a representative sample, but it was quite interesting. The result was basically most people, or about half of people, don't ask body count. And then when they do ask, they've usually seen the person for quite a while by the time they ask, right? And if it was something that was very important to most people, it would be something that you'd ask early, because if you're excluding people based on it. And then you look at who breaks up over body count. I believe it was men did care more than women. Men did care about it more than women, but it was a small portion of men. I believe 10% of men in his sample had ever stopped dating anybody because of body count. And then the body count number was relatively high. It was, I can't remember the exact number, but it was over 20. And then about 6% of the women in his sample had stopped dating someone because of body count. So some women, about, 1 in 20? I mean, it's probably not representative, so I wouldn't wedge yourself to any of these numbers, but a minority, but not a non-existent group of women will stop dating people over their body count. But again, it was a relatively high number. So I would say that most people seem to care about body count a little bit, but it's not that important. And they tend to want an average-ish number, and men and women tend to want a similar thing. They tend to want someone with an average-ish body count.
That's right, because women want a guy to have experience in the bedroom, right? So as in, guys don't really care about your experience. They want the lowest body count possible, damn near a virgin, okay? So body count does matter. It does matter to women. It does matter to guys. So it's just preference. It's just preference. What do you want? Yeah, but it does matter. It does matter.
Body count matters whether you like it or not, for men and women. And I mean this in the best way possible. I don't mean to judge somebody numerically off the body count that they have, but every single interaction that you have, and that is a very serious interaction, is a deep emotional experience. People write it off today. Oh, we just hooked up. Oh, we just had fun. Oh, we just, used to talk. No, it's not just that. It's so much deeper than that. You're going to someone's house. You're getting in bed with them. You're spending 8 to 10 hours completely naked with this person. There's a neurotransmitter response. There's a biological response that occurs. Whether you like it or not, you've had that interaction. You've seen each other naked. There's a different level of formality there now. So when you want to go out in the world and you want to pretend that these interactions didn't exist, you can't. They're always going to be there. And you create a reputation for yourself, if you keep doing this enough, that nobody will want to engage with you in a serious relationship because of your past. Even though that you might be a completely different person, they're still going to have those preconceived notions of who you are and what you've done.
Damn. That's sick, man. That's crazy, because people, especially women, they want to dismiss the body count factor. Like, it doesn't matter. You can have the highest body count and it's no problem. Man. That's just crazy. You can't tell me you can have 100 body counts. 100 bodies and be like a girl that has a very low body count. As a guy, I can have 100 bodies and still be good. But a woman who has 100 body counts, boy, that's an extreme number. 100 bodies.
Why are men so concerned with women's body count, but men's body count are twice as much, but obviously don't matter?
Well, here's the thing. You have to understand that there's a great difference between males and females. Men and women are not the same. You are not equal. Okay? Men mark their territory. The higher your body count is, the less likely he can bond you and bind you to him as his property, right? Men are takers by nature. They take energy. That's what they do. So the more men that you're with, the more value you lose because you got so many men taken from you, right? After they done took so much from you, what do you have to offer after that? Nothing. So, as a woman, why would you want a high body count? Why would you want so many men taken from you? So that you can be depressed. You can have anxiety. You can have all of these demons inside of you.
I mean, she laid it right down the line, man, when she said, you can have all those spirits inside of you, all those demons inside of you. Because sex is spiritual. We exchange a lot of spirits, demons especially, because remember, if you're unmarried, you are officially fornicating, right? So spirits can do as they please in your bodies. So yeah, you better be prepared to deal with some spirits when you're doing sexual stuff unmarried. Okay?
That's another reason why body count matters, because it's an evo-psych reason, evolutionary psychology. If a woman has 10 husbands and she's sleeping with all of them, who's the father? You don't know, in the past anyways. Throughout all of human history, now you can take a DNA test, and in some countries, it's actually in France, it's illegal to get a paternity test in France, because apparently, according to the French authorities or some shit, it would be too destructive to society, because men would realize that they were cucked, there was infidelity, and that the kid's not theirs. And that's a real fear for men, to raise a child that you think is yours. Women can't really relate to this one, because if you have a kid, you know with certainty the kid is yours. Well, you laugh, but it is a genuine, real fear. It's in our gut. If a woman's promiscuous, it's evolutionary psychology.
It's repulsive.
Whoa. It's illegal for a paternity test. Oh my God. In France. Oh my God. That's a red flag on the country. That's a big red flag on that country. What? Illegal? What? Man, come on. Oh, come on, man. You can't illegalize paternity test. You just can't do that. Why? Why? Man. Oh boy. That's a problem. That's a problem right there. I bet a lot of guys are just out there raising kids that aren't theirs. Man. But what you gonna do? It's the law, right? Yeah, the law.